What is up guys, it is Simba here and welcome back to the channel for another league racing video, and today it is round 14 for the Japanese Grand Prix.
1 minute left for this Man United game. Come on. What is that ball from Shaw? Brilliant. It's literally been 0-0 the whole game. And we're going to
and so you can hear me talking about the Man United game that was going on at the same time as United were playing Brighton in the FA Cup semi-final, and you can tell I'm rooting for United. So yeah, with the football out of the way, it is time to roll on the intro music and crack on with the latest instalment of the SLR season. Round number 14, 5 races to go in this championship, and we head off to Suzuka for the first time on this channel, which I'm very excited to present to you guys because I'm actually a big fan of this track. But the championship so far, it's not been what we wanted. We're currently 13th in the championship, a couple of points behind Rigsy now, and you know, a decent race in China, but we know we could have done a little bit better. The constructors, we are starting to gain on Williams and Alpine, which is really good considering we haven't had a lot of luck this season, but we're going to press on. So a little bit of context going into this race. You see us going through the first 2 corners and heading off into the S section. This was recorded on the 23rd of April, the day after my birthday. So I went out the night before, had a really good time, came home really drunk, but yeah, we had a bit of a hangover the day after. But it's not going to stop us from getting the sandbags off and focusing on qualifying. So there's the bit of context going into this race. So as you can see, we haven't done the best first sector. We're a bit pedestrian-like through Degner 1. You want to be a little bit more aggressive through there, but we press on with the lap anyway.
Yeah, this has been
and you can hear me about to say that this has been a very, very meh lap. It's been the banker of all bankers. It's not been a good middle sector either, but we're looking to finish off the lap. You can see we're a little bit hesitant through the first part of the Casino Triangle, but yeah, here we go, over the line we go, and it's a 29.5.
Yeah, that's a terrible banker.
And there you go. I am not very happy with the lap at all. It's apparently enough for P5 at the moment, but you know, where people are going to start to get a little bit quicker as this session goes on. Also, a little bit of more context going into this one. All I'm going to say about this is SLR Charlie and W Turner have been banned from the league. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to go into any deeper than that. I'm just going to leave that to the people who decided to do that. So there you go. The championship will look a little bit different after this race, and I'll show you the standings going into the next race. But for now, best lap of the session on the way. Here we go through the first 2 corners, chucking into 5th gear. Keep it in 5th, as the minute you get on the exit curb, floor the throttle as much as you can, and you just carry as much minimum speed through this S section. Flick it to the left, flick it to the right again, and then you straighten the car up for the Dunlop curve. 6th gear, try and get as much throttle as you can, and as you can see, it's been a very decent first sector, but it's not been too strong. It's only a 0.3, which isn't great. You want to do like a 0.2 if you want a decent first sector, but we nailed the Degners quite nicely, going in towards the hairpin. Now 3rd gear, short shifting to 4th, only because we want the traction, and that is exactly what we get from the hairpin. A bit of a bad habit of short shifting mid-corner, but it has helped us out on this occasion. We're nearly 4 tenths up, going through spoon curve, a little bit wide on the apex there. We just didn't clip the apex, and the second part of spoon was very strong, and again, we nail it on the traction. So we're doing a pretty solid lap at the moment, and it is a 12.2 in the middle sector, so a very strong middle sector, a lot better than the last time. But we go through 130R, going into the chicane, 4th gear, turn in as early as you can because the car does want to understeer, but we don't really cut the second part too well, but we get the throttle down towards the line, and that is a 28.9.
Much better. 0.9.
And you can hear me say much better, and I was quite happy with that. Up into P5 we go, and once again we are looking like we are fighting for a top 5 in qualifying. So we're going to see if we can try and cement this position. Our best, I think it was a 0.8, so there's another 10th in it. Let's go and find it. DRS wide open down the main straight towards turns 1 and 2. We want to chuck the car in. 5th gear again. We go a little bit wide. We don't really nail the apex through the second part of that right-hander. Now through the S section again, we go a little bit wide there. We go on the curb on the outside, and that just ruins the momentum a little bit as we're trying desperately to gain that time back, being a bit more aggressive into Dunlop curve, and we gain some of the time back. So we're about a third of a tenth down, but going through Degner 1, we go wide on the exit, and that is how this track punishes you for the tiniest of errors, and that is qualifying over. A little bit frustrating because it seems to be the story of our qualifying this season. We just can't get to nail the final lap when it actually matters, and as a result we dropped down to P8, but honestly I wasn't too annoyed. The maximum we were going to get was P7, and you can see the gap between the first 8 cars, less than 3/10 off pole, so we weren't a million miles away, and I'm quite happy with that. So P8 on the grid. Let's see what we can do in the race. So here we go then, time for the main event of the weekend, the Japanese Grand Prix. 27 laps ahead of us, and as always we're going to be starting on the hard tyres and moving on to the medium tyres around the halfway point of the race. So we've had a good qualifying. Let's see what we can do here in the Japanese Grand Prix for the first time on the channel. And the lights are out and we are underway for the Japanese Grand Prix, and the second phase is a very strong second phase from us. We get past the Williams of SLR Ham, who has bogged down off the start line, and me and Roller in the Alpine that is just on our outside there have both managed to pass the Williams. We have to make sure we give Ham a little bit of room as we go through the S section for the first time, and we slam the door on him by the time we are making our approach towards the Dunlop curve. So a very good start from us once again, being able to gain a place on the opening laps. So very nicely done, and we've still got a full tank of battery to use as well. So another strong start from yours truly, and we're going to see if we can build on from there. So coming towards the end of the first lap, we're currently in P7, looking to keep up with the DRS train, but there's trouble right in front of us.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Sora spun. Roller had. Sora spun. Roller had nowhere to go, and for some reason that was enough contact to damage his tyre. Very bizarre way to get in 2 places. Sorry about that, Roller.
And just like that, Roller is out of the race. He was very upset in the party, you couldn't hear him. But yeah, another terrible race for the Alpine driver. His season has pretty much gone downhill since he won in Australia. But lap 3 now, DRS has been enabled, and you can see the gap between myself, Ogwin and Jam is about 3 seconds. And at the moment, we're not really feeling too confident. You can see the personal best is only a 33.6. Ideally, you want to be at least half a second quicker than that. At least to be in the low 33s or high 32s, but we're not showing that at the moment. We're way off the pace, and the confidence isn't really there as we come towards the end of lap 4. We're just making sure that we keep Ham behind, as he's got a penalty, and out of the chicane.
Ham's got a penalty. Oh. Ham's got a penalty and he's spun around.
And that is another driver that we thought we were going to be racing today, completely gone and out of the points. SLR Ham goes for a spin, and that means we've got basically P5 unlocked. Medal moves up into P6, so right now McLaren are 5th and 6th, which is amazing, and Ham is actually disconnected, I think. So yeah, Ham's luck is just non-existent in this second half of the championship. But on to lap 6 now, we get a warning for completely cutting the first Degner. And I think I said that's not ideal, and it really isn't. Opening laps, you don't really want to get a warning. So we're going to press on, making sure that we don't get any more warnings for the rest of the race. But the pace really wasn't there, guys. I'm feeling like I'm driving on eggshells right now.
Okay, gap ahead.
My pace is so shit.
And there you go. You can hear me. We're not very happy about the pace as we do a 33 point something. I couldn't even read it there. But on to lap 11, we do the same mistake again at Degner too, and that is our second warning for track limit. And now if we get one more penalty, one more warning, that means we're going to get a 3-second time penalty. So we're already not too confident around this track in the race at the moment, and now we're going to have to be careful of not getting any more warnings. So we're really making it hard for ourselves so far in this Grand Prix, despite just driving around in P5. As lap 13, the tyres are starting to go off. Tyre wear was pretty aggressive around here, but we're on 55%, and we're going to be thinking about strategy.
Somebody can come in this lap if you want.
I'm planning to go one more.
Sure. You sure you don't want to pit Simba this lap?
Yeah, this lap, mate. I don't want to.
Okay.
I don't want to get undercut by Rigsy.
Okay, well I'm done. Are you going in?
Yeah, I'm going in, mate.
Going in. Okay. Yep. Going. Yep.
So, coming towards the end of lap
Good.
14, you can hear the comments between myself and my teammate SLR Medal right behind us. And I've agreed to box at the end of this lap. One lap earlier than we wanted, but that is to make sure that we don't get undercut by Rigsy, who is right behind us. In hindsight, I wish I let Medal through earlier. And you can hear me say to my teammate that was a very good call, because Rigsy has followed us in as well, so no one's getting undercut, and Rigsy has a less of a chance to gain a position on at least one of the McLarens, as we're both looking to try and get top 6s in these races, because we've been quite unlucky as a team this season, but we've started to pick things up towards the end of the championship. So out of the pits we go. We're ahead of the ghost car of SLR Ham, and we are in 8th place. By the time we get to the end of, well, to the beginning of lap 16, there we go, past our teammate, and he is just ahead of Rigsy as well. So both drivers locking in P6 and 7 at the moment, because Paraquix is yet to stop. But unfortunately for us, the pace doesn't get any better on the medium tyres. You can see we've skipped all the way to lap 20. Our PB is only a 32.2, while everyone around us was doing like 131s. So yeah, pace is way off, and now we're going to have to try and do some defending when the confidence isn't really there. As you can see, we have a hesitant moment there through the Castillo triangle, as we're trying not to get a third warning for cutting the last corner, and now Riggs is going to get a really good run on us, and there's literally nothing we can do. We don't have much battery either, and Riggsy sails through. We try and stick our nose in on the inside line going into the first 2 corners, but that's it. He's passed not one but both McLarens, and that is a disaster, considering we're close to Rigsy in the championship because of our poor form throughout the course of this season. But yeah, Rigsy passed both McLarens, and that is really not ideal. And also, TMS Sora has joined the party. He's recovering from that first lap spin as well, and his pace is very strong around here. So we could have let our teammate go, but now instead, because of our lack of pace and a little bit of ego kicking in, we're going to lose out as a team as well. As Sora passes us before we get to 130R, he takes the position, and we're going to see if we can try and challenge him a little bit, but we kind of just back out of it. And yeah, honestly, this is not my finest moment, because if I was smart...
Yeah, sorry, Medal. I've shafted both of us, man.
No, yeah, it's fine.
We would have let our
just told him
teammate
to let
through a lot
told him
earlier,
to
so we can
let me
push
go,
and
so
try
I
and
could have kicked
lock
Rigsy.
in a top
fine.
6 finish.
Definitely not.
Because he did the same thing in China
going.
when we overcut him. So yeah, not really a great show of teamwork from yours truly. Definitely quite poor from me. Probably next time we'll probably make sure that if Medal's the quicker car, we'll have to let him through.
Simba, if I get close enough, could I get through?
Yeah.
And then if I don't overtake Sora, then I'll give it back to my last lap.
Alright, yeah.
And there you go, lap 23. We're keeping up with Sora and Rigsy, and we're going to let our teammate through to see if he can try and get them and reclaim some places.
I don't know, man. It's just not happening today.
You might have to lift up a tiny bit. Yeah, cool. Cheers, mate.
Should have done this like 10 laps ago.
And you can hear me say there, we
least
should have done this
3
at least 10 laps ago. And that is basically the truth of it. So yeah, we're currently 7th and 8th, which will be good points regardless for the team. It could have been a little bit better if I just played the team game a little bit earlier. And hindsight is a beautiful thing, and this was quite a while ago. So lap 25, Medal said he's going to give the place back on the last lap, but he's actually going to do it now.
No, I'm not getting close enough. Okay, I'm gonna let you go now.
Alright, cheers.
And then pull to the right. Flip off.
Yeah, fine.
Alright. Just bring it home.
And you can hear Medal say, just bring it home. And that was quite nice. He didn't take it too, he wasn't too annoyed about it. We're still scoring solid points anyway as a team, and that is the most important thing, especially as we're trying to fight Williams in the Constructors. So on to the last lap now. We're going to be P7. Meanwhile,
Well in Elite. About time, mate. About fucking time.
Elite Risks finally wins his first race in McKeown and his first of the season. He turned his line on, but still, congrats to him anyway. His pace was unreal. As meanwhile for us, we're going to survive with 2 warnings, and we're going to come home to finish in P7 here today.
Yeah, thank God that's over. God. Eggshells since lap 11.
And you can hear me say, we were driving on eggshells since lap 11. Realistically, it was pretty much the whole race, but it's still P7 here today. I really feel that top 5 was possible if the pace and the confidence was just there. Obviously, the night before didn't help, but we still managed to do a decent job, not get any warnings, have a clean race, and score some decent points as a team. And this has an effect on the Drivers' Championship, which I haven't shown in a while. So at the moment, after 14 races, we are 13th, not too far off our teammate. And I really feel that top 10 is still possible. In terms of the top of the championship, Turner got, well, you know, banned. So it's only a matter of time before Ogwin takes the lead of the Drivers' Championship. And in the Constructors' Championship, as a team, we move up into P7 just behind Alpine now. So the midfield battle is really close. And I really feel like a top 6 is possible. We just need to keep chipping away and show a little bit more confidence in the last few races if we want to try and get the desired results. So that, guys, is the end of today's video. Check out the video on screen if you haven't seen it already. Subscribe to the channel for more league racing content. We're going to keep going to the end of this game cycle. And until then, take care. I will see you all in the next one.